Hey guys, it's Abby and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a journal with me video, but before that, I wanted to share with you some of the spreads I've done so far for my creative journaling challenge for May, which is focused on mental health and flowers. So here are some of the initial spreads I started doing. I actually didn't journal for a couple of weeks before this, so it was nice to always get back on track and really experiment on different ways that I can journal and document about my life and also my experiences and also some recipes in between because I've been doing a lot of cooking. So we're going to proceed on working on this spread. So I've decided to paint on the left side, but because it's a bit already wrinkled, I decided to just whip out my own watercolor postcard size paper and I will stick it on my Hobonichi afterwards. So this is postcard size. I got this from Art Bar and it's pretty much compact, and I'm also using this very compact watercolor kit that I've made. So I will link it down below if you want to learn how to make your own DIY watercolor kit. So we're going to proceed off with painting a quote. I'm just going to do this freehand because I am trying to do less overthinking and just going for it and seeing if I make mistakes, then come what may, then, pun intended. Anyway, so I just wanted to touch on the topic of mental health because it's Mental Health Awareness Month, and personally I am also mentally ill and I wanted to share with you some of my experience with it. And I know this is a topic that's pretty sensitive, so if you're not interested to learn more, feel free to close this video and watch the rest of my other journaling videos. But I wanted to share this because I think as someone who does journaling and mental health go really hand in hand, and even lettering actually, anything that is related to art, because you get to express yourself and be in a safe space where you can just create and stay calm and focus. I mean, for me, that's how generally it is. So I just wanted to hand letter this phrase on the left side of my spread because there is a prompt on Mental Health Awareness Month and I just wanted to hand letter a quote instead. And the opposite one that I'm going to do for the spread is my relationship with my mental health. So yeah, I just wanted to letter this quote. It's mental health matters. I think there has always been like this avoidance discussing mental health, especially where I'm from in the Philippines. I don't know how prominent this is because it's not a visible illness. It's not something you see, like there aren't any symptoms, but it's the way of how we think and how we act. And I firmly believe that it has such an impact on how I viewed myself for the past few years that I was diagnosed and stuff. And I think it's high time now that it's something that we can open up to. Personally, I have had a hard time discussing this, but also it's primarily one of the reasons why you don't see me online all the time or having to churn out regular content and feeling like, oh, having to be positive and stuff, because I also have my days, and like everyone else, we are all the same. We all go through similar ups and downs. I mean, not in the similar context of events, but you know how we feel, and it happens, it's life, and it's something that I've always wanted to instill in people, and also not just through art, but you know, through writing and sharing what I know about how to, you know, remove the stigma when it comes to mental health. So I think I have discussed mental health briefly before when I did this video on facing anxiety. I will link it down below as well, but generally things have been really difficult, not only for me but a lot of people, given that we're in this current situation in the global pandemic. And I think more than ever, mental health has been becoming really important and bringing up for discussion these days, because the way that we are in lockdown and trying to work and study and getting by with this pandemic around is really hard to, you know, wrap around. So okay, going back, I'm just going to set aside the painting that I did, and we're gonna start off with the right page because the paint sets pretty slow. Let's give it like 10 minutes, so I don't really want to mess it up. So yeah, as I was saying, since we are all stuck at home, it's really important to have this proper relationship with your mind. I always love this saying about being kind to your mind because I feel like it's really true. Yeah, and I think it really varies for every person in terms of their relationship with themselves. And personally, I've been through quite a lot. It's just that I don't like sharing about it, but I've had different experiences, and growing up, I always felt like I wasn't the cool kid. Not like I wanted to be one, but I didn't know that these little things actually impacted most of my adult life. For example, I remember when I was a kid, I went to art school, art classes, and this teacher said I wasn't good enough. And until now, I still carry this weight of grudge with that, because I am a full-time artist, and it's kind of weird to know that someone actually belittled you when you were young. And that's why I also want to remind people that words and what you say to others really make an impact on their lives. When I see someone being bullied or when I see someone being embarrassed, I get really annoyed. And I think there's always like another way on how you should treat a person. It's not really just like by pointing out someone's fault and like making them feel ashamed of it. I think that's a very sensitive thing to discuss, but a lot of things that require proper human interaction, I think, stems about from having a mentally, not stable, but being mentally aware of people and everyone else's situation. So, okay, I'm talking too much now. I'm just gonna proceed on. I'm showing you this really basic layout I did because I knew that I was gonna write a lot. This page, as I mentioned, is my relationship with mental health, so it's gonna be a long one, so I'm gonna dedicate the whole page for it. So I just covered the whole area with some washi tape and some stickers. I really like these round ones that I got from a friend, so you will see them on both pages. So, going back to mental health, personally, I felt really embarrassed during like last year when I started taking medication and got really into my mental health and really taking care of it. It was not really easy because I was also abroad last year. I was in Berlin and I would have regular breakdowns at 4 a.m., not knowing what I'm going to do next, and it was really a struggle to get myself out of a dark place. And when I went to the doctor, actually went to 2 doctors already in my lifetime, but yeah, this current doctor I'm seeing also told me that a lot of my trauma has been brought about from how I was raised. Not in the sense that my mom isn't a good parent, she's actually one of the coolest people ever, but it's really the environment I was in school. Also, with the early passing of my dad, I was 9. I really didn't know how I would manifest it or how I could channel that negative energy. But I grew up being a really emo kid. I don't know if it was normal, but apparently my doctor said it wasn't, because I really just didn't like talking. And it took me a while to understand that I'm an introvert and I like just keeping to myself. And that's how journaling actually saved me. Journaling and drawing, both of them. And with the prevalence of a lot of work that came in after, you know, this whole whirlwind of, I'm not going to talk about it, but you will see it on my Draw My Life video. I'm also going to link it down below. But after, you know, graduating and figuring out my whole path in life and going through quarter life crisis, it's been like such a turnaround for me to try to figure out what's next. And right now, I am also not in the midst of, because the doctor said that if I continued working out, which I tried working out for 5 times a week this summer. I mean, I'm trying my best, but usually I just do like 3 or 4. But he said that if I could be able to remove my medication. But given that we're in this COVID-19 situation and I don't go to therapy that much, I really don't want to risk it for now. So I thought I was going to graduate from medication this year, but apparently not. And I'm not really sad about it. I've learned to accept that it really takes time. And I'm sure other people have longer experiences or periods with their mental health problems than me, more than like 5 years, 10 years. Mine is going on for like 4 years since 2016. But I'm not really at that point where I feel like I should move on. I think I'm still in that bubble. I still have days where I don't feel like myself. My hormones get in the way. My whole PCOS situation also gets in the way. Sometimes little things such as like driving around the city to do errands and knowing that it's very strict here is also very daunting for me and anxiety inducing. So I'm just trying my best to keep myself at a proper pace. So yeah, going back to the spread, I am just sticking the artwork on the left side. I think also in terms of layout, you can try something like this where the left side is just a full-blown art work and then the right side is full of text. That way, the balance between the two pages really work together, and they work together as a whole, actually. I really enjoy this because I had not planned on doing lettering actually, but it's like, what if I just letter something and just put it on the left side? It would be nice to, you know, incorporate two of the things I love most, which is hand lettering and journaling. So yeah, I would suggest that if you feel like you have some problems with your mental health, or you want to talk it out, just look for a doctor that will help you out. If not, it's always nice to invest in doing some reading or knowing more about how to be mentally aware about your brain, how it works. And if you feel like everything's too overwhelming, you can just whip out your journal and write some stuff. I think that is easily the best therapy. Apart from that, it's also nice to do yoga, which I've been doing a lot also. And if you're keen, you can also do meditation, but personally, I've been having a hard time with it, so I guess it's to each his own. So I'm just going to cut out a few of these elements and stick them all together, as you can see here. And yeah, I think this is my final spread. I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to take care of yourself and your mental health. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for new updates on lettering and journaling. This has been Abby, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye!